Hi booktube, it's Gemma at A Story and a Song here again. This time I wanted to have a chat with you about some of the fantasy series that I think are underrated on YouTube. As in, I've been watching a lot of YouTube over the past couple of months, and I really haven't seen these pop up in many videos, if at all. So I wanted to just give some good recommendations for people that like fantasy. So first of all, I have The Diamond Throne by David Eddings, and this is the first book in a high fantasy series of 3 books following a knight called Sparhawk and his quest to save his young queen from poison after she's been poisoned by the sort of bad guys in the book. So he collects, as is common in fantasy, collects a motley band of adventurers and goes off to find the MacGuffin of the series. This series has 3 books, and then there is also a second series featuring Sparhawk and his friends, which is called The Tamuli. This one is called The Elenium, and these are written by David Eddings, who also wrote The Bulgariad, which is much more of a middle grade series, but this one is definitely an adult series. I think it was the first adult fantasy series I really read. Don't get me wrong, it has its problems, but it's thoroughly enjoyable and has some really memorable characters. And then we have The Bone Dolls Twin. Now, I have 2 series by Lynn Flewelling in this pile. This is my favourite. It is one of my absolute all-time favourite fantasy series, and it follows the royal family of a fictional country. Let me see, it's Scala. Yeah, Scala. So in Scala, they have had a prophecy that as long as a queen of this certain bloodline rules the country will be safe. However, there was a really bad queen and her son took over the throne. Men are not supposed to rule this country, but he does anyway, and he basically does a King Herod against lots of his female relatives. His sister has twins, and to save the girl twin, they disguise her as a boy. And she grows up for most of it believing that she is a boy. It's really good. It's got really some great themes about gender and identity, some, again, really memorable characters, what it means to do the wrong thing for the right reasons. Does that excuse it? There's another 2 books after this. Again, I can't really recommend this series highly enough. It's so good, you guys. Read it. And then I said I was going to mention Lynn Flewelling again. This is the Night Runner series. Whoop, there we go. Now, the Night Runner series follows a character called Alec. He becomes involved with a sort of spy, travelling minstrel type called Sergil, and becomes embroiled again in the world of Scala. However, this series is set a few hundred years after the Bone Dolls Twin. It's got good diverse characters, it's got good queer representation, it's got main bisexual characters, it's got magic, it's got dragons, it's got political intrigue, and it's wonderful. There's 3 books originally, and then she's written about another 3 or 4. I've still got 2 of them to read. I've kind of been saving them for like a rainy day. Do you ever do that with a book you're gonna love, and you just save it because you think once it's done, it's done? So again, thoroughly recommend these. They are, let me see, this one's Luck in the Shadows, and then the other 2 are Stalking the Darkness and Traitor's Moon. And last of all, I have Fortress in the Eye of Time by C.J. Cherry. C.J. Cherry writes fantasy and hard sci-fi. I have a couple of her hard sci-fi books as well. Down Below Station is a really great one, and so is Cytine. This is a series of 4 books that follows, a magical kingdom where previously beings kind of like really powerful fairies, but they've all disappeared now. One of them is he one of them or is he not? But an old magician living in a tower on his own brings a boy back to life, and it's all about him discovering who he is, what that means. There's religious sort of divisions, there's great friendships, there's, you know, a lot of it's very character driven, I would say. So there's a lot of internal monologues, internal feelings, especially with the main character Tristan. So again, I would highly recommend this one. This one's a little bit chunkier than the others, but again, it's not a lot to sort of get through if you're, you know, a fairly quick reader. I always judge things on how fast I read, but I am a pretty fast reader. So that is 4 fantasy series that I have not really seen mentioned on booktube. I think they're pretty overrated? No, the opposite. Underrated. I think they're underrated on booktube. And, you know, I think that if you like fantasy and you're looking for something good to get your teeth into, they're all completed series. So you don't need to wait for the next book. If you're looking for something to binge, there you go. So any other suggestions of what people would like to see on the channel, if there's any topics you would cover, any other booktubers you would recommend to me, any series, anything like that, I always love to hear, either on Twitter or down below in the comments. Thanks very much, YouTube. Take care. Bye bye.